Alderwood. I'm Jason. I'm the chairman of the elder board, and you all know Wyatt. And one thing that we like to do here as a church family is to just give updates on kind of what's been going on. So Wyatt and I are here to kind of give you a little update on what's been happening the last few months here at the church, and also some exciting things that are coming up. And just wanted to provide you a little update. So Wyatt, what do you got for him?
Yeah, I mean, one of the exciting things is just something that's super visible every Sunday when you come to Alderwood, which is that we are growing. There's more people coming every week and new families. Our kids ministry staff just told me a couple weeks ago that since the start of the year, on average, they've registered a new family into kids ministry 5 times every Sunday since the beginning of January.
And I think they're all coming into the 2-year-old room, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, where you serve. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's just fun to see so many new kids, so many new faces on a Sunday morning. And I mean, there's the energy here is so much fun to be a part of. And so I just encourage all of us, I mean, when you see somebody new, say hi, shake their hand, welcome people who are coming here, ask people how long they've been coming, and let's really strive to make this a place where when people come, they feel like we love them, we're glad they're here, we want them to be a part of our church family. So that's a big thing that's been going on. You know, we, coming out of COVID, didn't know what church was going to look like, didn't know how big our church would be coming out of COVID, didn't know, when we would ever get back to pre-COVID numbers.
It wasn't a time of a lot of certainty, let's put it that way.
So it was cool just within the last couple of months to recognize that by God's grace, we have been having more people come on Sunday morning to worship right now than we were right before COVID happened. And so that's an amazing thing that we're celebrating. And it's not just people who are showing up to come and sit in the auditorium. We're seeing a bunch of new people get into groups. We had 150 new signups for life groups this year, and people are joining Bible studies, people are getting involved. And so that's been really cool to see as well. And for anybody who's listening to this, if that's not you yet, if you haven't found your spot to connect, just encourage you to find that. And there's a bunch of things going on here. We'd love to welcome you in and get you kind of more involved with our church family than just coming on Sundays.
Another thing that's been going on, just to provide a little update, is kind of our ongoing relationship with Sound Transit. And I just really want to say, first and foremost, thank you for those of you who had an opportunity to come to the in-person open house that Sound Transit held earlier in March. We were told that there were 1,600 people at the event, and that was the most that had ever come to one of those Sound Transit events. We think that there were over 1,000 that were from Alderwood, and it was so great to see people there smiling, eating pizza, hanging out, and it was just honestly a really, really great time. But the highlight for me actually came after that, in hearing from Sound Transit and talking with them about how it went. They communicated to us that they're used to small groups, small numbers of kind of angry, mean people, and we showed up with a lot of people who were kind and polite and loving, and that just warms my heart. I mean, I think you said it best from stage, where you said our job is to represent Jesus here, and I think our family did that. And
I was really proud of our church.
Yeah,
it was
me
awesome.
too. It was really, really incredible. And since that time, I'm really, really proud of the fact that the conversation with Sound Transit has continued to progress forward. We had them here on campus, where we got to tour the buildings, our main building, the Compassion Center, even walk around kind of the parking lot and see where the actual tracks, could potentially impact. And so getting that physical conversation going, I think, with them, for them to see the impact.
That was great. Well, not just to see our buildings, but they also got to see the Compassion Center in action. They got to see it Tuesday night, with our clinic out in the parking lot and families coming for food, and they got to see just the real impact we're having on people's lives here, which is great.
Yeah. And one thing that came out of that is that we're very, very excited to hear is that as they go into the next phase of the Sound Transit section for Linwood, which is called the EIS, the Environmental Impact Study, we were obviously hoping that there would be some opportunity for alternate paths beyond just ones that would impact the main campus. And we were just encouraged to hear that they've heard that this building, this family, the services out of the Compassion Center, they mean something to this community, and that they are exploring other alternatives. And we don't know what that means yet, but we're excited about that. Yeah. And the next steps there are, the public comment period is kind of closed, so now we're kind of waiting. We, as a church leadership team, are engaged in conversation with Sound Transit. They've been great partners so far, and we're encouraged by those conversations. And so we'll have more updates, I think, in the future. But for right now, we're kind of just waiting, and we'd ask the church body to pray with us. That's the main thing that they can do, I think, at this point.
Keep praying that God will do exactly what He wants to do with our church.
Yeah,
put us where He wants us. We think it's here, but we're seeking His will more than anything else.
His will be done, absolutely. So that's a little bit about kind of what's been going on lately. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about what's coming up? What are we excited about?
Yeah, I'm gonna look down the road a little bit. It's been such a great year so far in God's story. I know a bunch of our folks have been doing the Bible reading plans with us and learning new things, and so that's been really cool. We're gonna keep doing that through the rest of the year, and our Bible reading plan will wrap up the end of August, and our sermon series that are tied to our Bible reading plan will end at the end of August as well. And as we've been thinking and praying about what September is going to look like and the year following that, I'm really excited that we're going to spend a lot of time on our value of go. We've been talking a lot about connect, grow, go. This is how we follow Jesus, and getting people connected in life groups and community and relationships and all of that. It's been really fun seeing that happen. We're talking about grow in our faith and our love of Jesus and our love of the scriptures. This year, that's been a big emphasis. Next year, we're really going to talk more and more about what does it mean to be people who go, who live for others and not for ourselves, both in the way we serve each other here as a church family, but also outside of our walls, outside of this particular community. How do we go into relationships and represent Jesus and be a witness of the gospel? And so that's kind of where our energy is focused for that next year. And we're going to be studying through the book of Acts that year in our main service teaching series, which is going to be a great thing. And we're dreaming about what new things we need to do as a church. What does it look like to send teams across the world? What does it look like to love people through our compassion center locally here? How do we welcome more people who don't yet know Jesus to our services, to our events, and share the gospel? And so a lot to come still on that. Even right now, as I'm talking about this, the mission trip is a big one. Our first all-church mission trip to the Philippines since COVID is happening, and that's going to be in the fall. Yeah, and people can sign up for that right now, alderwood.cc/missions. If you want to be a part of that mission trip that will be happening this fall, you can go and check that out as well. And so there's going to be a lot of more communication coming about that next year. Right now, though, I want people to get August 20th on their calendar. I know August 20th is a great time of the summer to be away. Schedule your vacations some other time, because on the 20th we're bringing back our block party. We're going to be celebrating everything that God did this year as a church, and also talking a lot about the future as well. So
super excited about that. I love our block parties. So
yeah, it'll be good.
Good to have that back. That's awesome. And I'm very, very excited myself about focusing on Go next year, to make that really tangible and to do that together as a community and a family. I think that'll be awesome.
It'll be good.
So yeah, that's a little bit about kind of what's been going on and what's upcoming. And just wanted to provide you a little bit of an update. God continues to be incredibly generous here in the middle of Linwood, and generous to our family. And as we start to think about this growth that we're seeing with all these new families and new faces that we're seeing, I think there's a couple of things that are just really good takeaways for us to encourage the entire family to think about. One is, as you mentioned earlier, is welcome somebody. Go meet somebody brand new that you haven't seen before, and identify a new face, and go give them a hug or shake a hand or whatever it is that you do. And the next thing too is to also think about through this growth, we're going to be thinking up some really exciting new programs. We're excited about a couple new things coming up next year. We're going to need some potentially some new staff to help ramp up the amount of new families we see in the kids ministry and stuff like that. And to do that really well, we're going to need the family of Alderwood to also be generous with their tithes and offerings financially, and also generous with their time and being willing to actually say, yeah, this is where I'm putting down roots, and I want to be a part of this, and I want to give my time and serve here and volunteer and help build the programs that we want to build, that we think God is kind of positioning us to be able to do for that growth. So very, very excited about that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we got a lot ahead that God's doing, and we can't do it without all of our church getting together and pitching in. So love that. That's all we have today. I just want to thank you for being a part of our church and being a part of what God is doing here. If you want to stay connected and informed about what's going on in the church, really encourage you to check out the weekly church email that goes out. If you go to our website, alderwood.cc, scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a little link there for the weekly email. You can get signed up for that there. And if you just want to reach out to us anytime, ask a question, connect with a pastor, you can always reach us at reachus@amcc.org. And did I say that right? Reach us at amcc.org. There you go. That's it. So let us know, and we'll look forward to seeing you around church. And have a great day.
Thanks, Alderwood.